Buongiorno! Buongiorno! Here we go, here we go. We are close to the last important match for AC Milan. The Coppa Italia semifinals, another derby against Inter, and at the last derby of the season, Milan still unbeaten, and that kind of scares me because usually I can't never be too optimistic, but I ask one thing to our players. One thing. Please, please give your best. Please do not have a sloppy attitude. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. Play. Let's try to win this match. Please. Please. I want to see everybody on the ground at the end of the match without the ability to walk or run. I want to see them tired at the end, okay? Good. So, how are both teams coming to the match, though? So, AC Milan, this is the match to win. This is all we got. We got nothing else. That's all we have. And so that's why I expect everybody to give their best. And I know they know that. I know that Conceição is complaining a little bit because they keep talking about the next coach, but man, you signed a contract that is 6 months and you're ninth in Serie A out of the Champions League like that. This is how the game works. Do not expect people to be praising you or, Anyway, so we're gonna have the whole team, pretty much the whole team. We just miss the king, Emerson Royal. He's still not recovered, or like I think I told you once, but I don't think he is recovering. I think he is training in Okinawa, shooting the ball to the waves a little bit like Captain Tsubasa, I am sure that when he's gonna be back for the final of the Coppa Italia, he's gonna shine. Trust me. I know. But other than that, we have everybody. Walker, he's recovered. Ruben, the super Loftus cheek, is recovered too, and can be a good addition at the end of the match. We have some doubts about the formations, but we will talk about that soon. While Inter, how is Inter coming to this match? Inter, I don't know. Inter is missing Thuram and Dumfries, and Inter without Thuram is a very, very, very different. It is very different and a lot less dangerous. Okay, we can agree with that, right? Inter that is fighting for the Scudetto, is fighting for the Champions League, and is fighting for the Coppa Italia. Now, of all these, and I think that Inter supporters agree, Coppa Italia is the one that you don't probably care that much. You care because it's a derby. If it wasn't a derby, if it wasn't AC Milan versus Inter, then I don't think you would care that much about this trophy. And you have, I think Inter has to choose where to put his efforts. And if I was an Inter supporter, I would say I will focus on Serie A because that's winnable, and the Champions League. Okay, Coppa Italia is kind of whatever. Now they took a hit versus Bologna, which could psychologically affect them and their motivations, especially after the match versus Bayern Munich, in which everybody was like so hyped, rightfully so. But then losing the match against Bologna, and that is a recall to our Scudetto when we won the Scudetto a few years ago, because that happened at the same period, right now, and it's kind of a history could repeat itself, and I think that that's scary for the Inter fans. But anyway, so Inter is coming with less motivations, I think, than us, if not the motivation they should have is to beat Milan, because so usually in the derby, who has the advantage doesn't win, right? So, like this year, AC Milan was supposed to lose pretty much probably every derby. We were supposed to just lose to the superior Inter. That didn't happen, right? There is one last game. This is the game I want to win. Please, please, please. So, how will Conceição choose to play? Conceição, I think he will go on with the same formation that we saw in the last few matches versus Atalanta and Udinese. So with the three center backs, four midfielders, and three attackers. We are not sure about the formation as usual until the very beginning of the game, but they say that we might see Chow instead of Pavlovic. So we're gonna have Tomori, Gabbia, and Chow on the back. Our midfield is gonna be pretty much this with Theo, Reinders, Fofana, and then Jimenez or Walker. Jimenez or Walker. Who do you think is best here? To me, I think it depends how they want to. Conceição wants to approach the game. If you want to be more sparkling, that frizz, then probably you're gonna go with Jimenez because it's that young energy. But if you wanna have more equilibrium, more balance, and be more attentive, especially in the first half, to not concede a goal, maybe they could go with Walker. Even if our problems in the match versus Atalanta weren't so much in this area, but they were like around here, right? Around like in this area. Because when Atalanta attacked, we have Leao that doesn't really cover. Like when Theo is defending here and we become like a back of five, Reinders is not known to have great defensive skills, and so is Leao. Leao is a little bit sloppy when it comes back to defend, and a lot of the times in the match versus Atalanta, we saw that Atalanta would, instead of going here, where the spaces were a little bit more tight and there wasn't really a space for them to play, they would just like circle the ball here, and Leao maybe was late or Reinders was a little bit out here, and they could always get the ball like through here and then attack, right? So that could happen again versus Inter. So we will see what Conceição will choose. In attack, there is another question mark, a super question mark. Well, of course, we're going to have Pulisic here and Leao, and then Jovic or Abraham. Personally, my choice, I think I would want to see Abraham from the beginning, and maybe Jovic or Santi after. So Jovic, Jovic has been pretty much a very good sub even the past year. Jovic, when he comes as a sub, like has been deadly, okay, and when he plays from the beginning, has been less effective. Okay, he can work for the team, blah blah blah, but also Abraham can do that. So maybe I will try to trust Abraham also for the energy that Abraham can give. Like he's a little bit more of a warrior in that sense compared to Jovic. So I would have Abraham here, especially if you want to just play the long ball game like we did in the first half of Atalanta, where we saw a lot of the times the ball being thrown to Leao here, and everybody was basically just searching Leao. So let me know what players you'd like to see. So Jimenez, I am afraid he could get a yellow card early, and that is not good. So it depends if you want to approach the first half more defensively and just do counter-attacking like we did versus Atalanta, or if you want to try to control the game or not. Honestly, I don't think AC Milan will try a high pressing, because when we do that, we just leave holes all over the pitch, and if we cannot complete the pressing and get the ball back, and Inter has even if he doesn't have Dumfries or Thuram, they still have very good players. So I think that we will try to be cautious, see what happens, and maybe in the second half, if we're still 0-0, maybe try to get the possession of the game And especially gotta be careful, like to with Çalhanoğlu, because Çalhanoğlu is very good with long passes. So probably I'm not gonna try a high pressing. I don't know though if we should just sit on the back and close all the spaces like we did with Atalanta. I don't know if that is gonna be effective versus Inter, or maybe try more of a mid block. But let me know. Let me know what you think. I will see you soon and enjoy your day. Ciao, ciao.